of dispossession. Today marks 76 years of killing. Today marks 76 years of bloodshed. Today marks 76 years of annexation. The Nakba is not a moment in history or an episode, a historical episode, but an ongoing nightmare that continues to haunt Palestinians today. You're seeing them try to displace 2 million people into the Sinai Desert. You're witnessing it. You're seeing them try to put 2 million people in places in Africa that they've never been. And it just didn't unfold when Israel started this war against the Palestinian people in October. Palestinians in the West Bank are forced to break the homes of their very own walls with their very own hands. How dare you? Feel it. Israel is forcing you to break your home's walls, where your grandmother slept at night, where memories were created because your presence is illegitimate in their eyes. And if you don't break your home, they charge you 15,000 Israeli shekels. Palestinians who are suspected of committing a crime, their homes are destroyed. If your cousin was suspected of committing a crime, your home is destroyed. In addition to your cousins. Suspected. How many Palestinians have been suspected of committing crimes? How many times do we need to witness these war crimes in Palestine for us to act? I mean it. I'm sick and tired of us having to mobilize, and quite frankly, I am tired. Because Israel will continue to kill. Israel will continue to maim. Israel will continue to destroy unless we grab Zionism by the neck. That is what every single person here is doing. By holding this institution accountable, you are putting the pressure points. You are applying pressure on the pressure points that exist here today. Cowards! SOAS, 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 power. We the students have the power. We the students have the power. Every student is a power student. Power! Power! Every student is a power. UAL, Imperial, Goldsmith City, and Kingston University so far. United in response to the ever-intensifying genocide against the Palestinian people. The London students, as a united front, operate as one cohesive force, working towards Palestinian liberation from Zionist settler colonialism and the emancipation of all oppressed communities. Our particular concern centers on the complicit role our academic institutions play in these atrocities. Our institutions, SOAS, is a part of the machine that is facilitating the illegal occupation of Palestine and the 75-year ethnic cleansing campaign against our people. Not only through historical ties, investments, research, and academic endorsements of the Zionist occupation, but also by actively engaging and suppressing pro-Palestinian voices. A clear attempt to obscure the crimes committed against our people in Palestine. Stop the War Coalition, and we bring our solidarity. Only a few weeks ago, students attended the demonstrations as individuals or part of delegations. Now they attend the demonstrations as an independent front struggling to extend the battle for free Palestine into their institutions and across this country. And for that, we all know the students earned a huge debt of gratitude. So I want to make a couple of points. First of all, on the day of the Nakba, it is absolutely right to draw our attention to the fact that this country was there at the beginning of this disaster, was one of the authors of this disaster in the Belfast. But that isn't just the only thing that we should remember that the British were up to in the region
after the First World War. At the very same time that Lord Arthur Balfour was promising the Zionist movement the land of the Palestinians, Lawrence of Arabia and his officers were promising the very same land to the Arab movement in the Middle East.
We have taken to the streets, not just in rage, but in grief. In grief for the martyrs whose faces are printed on the papers you see all around us. In grief for the hospitals and universities and clinics and houses and apartment buildings that have been bombed by a terroristic Zionist entity. And so, in recognition of that grief, I ask for a moment of silence before, in recognition of our rage, I ask you to rise and continue with us. But first, if we can have a moment of silence for the martyrs whose faces you see printed all around us. That it is not just our silence, nor our commemoration, nor our grief that is asked of us in this moment, but our action. As our comrades and our family members in Palestine remind us, it is action that is required in the face of genocide and ethnic cleansing, of an ongoing Nakba. And that is why we in the student movement are escalating our actions against our university, and we encourage everyone to escalate their actions against all institutions in this country that are complicit with the genocide. I ask that you, in a moment, those of you who are sitting, rise together, that we continue together, and that we leave together, because when we stay together, we keep each other safe. And as a reminder to London, to SOAS, to any complicit institution, we will shut it down. Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down! The siege of Gaza! The hold-down system! The hold-down system! The siege of Gaza! We will be silent! We are the people! We will be silent!
So my name is Layla. I'm staying here at the SOAS Liberated Zone for Gaza, part of the encampment. I've been here since day one, and today marks 10 days. Today also marks 76 years since the Nakba, or the catastrophe, which we commemorate here every single year and across the globe. Today, for instance, at the SOAS Liberated Zone for Gaza, we had a great rally from students all across different universities, first from Westminster to UCL, from UCL here to SOAS, and then from SOAS we headed to Tottenham Court Road, where we had a bigger action to remember what the Nakba is. The Nakba is the ethnic cleansing of more than 800,000 Palestinians that had to flee their homes, that were forced by the Zionist entity, by Zionist paramilitary groups, in order to make space for the establishment of the new occupation state known as Israel, which is committing the genocide right now in Gaza. Once we headed to Tottenham Court Road, we had an amazing form of protest, which is a die-in, where we held pictures of Palestinian martyrs. These are Palestinians who have been brutally massacred by the Zionist entity, and in order to symbolize that, we had a die-in where we laid on the floor and held the images of these Palestinians that no longer are here with us thanks to the genocide that's been happening in Gaza. Right now we came back from Tottenham Court Road, and as you can hear behind me, they are singing Bella Ciao, which is an Italian anti-fascist song, and it's very, very important, specifically here within this encampment, because this university indirectly and directly is supporting fascism, is supporting genocide, is supporting Israeli occupation and apartheid, and it is upholding this through its divestment and through its ties with Haifa University, for instance, which is built on stolen Palestinian land. And especially today, we remember that because there are Palestinian students within this university, and even if they're not Palestinians, in our thousands and in our millions, we are all Palestinians. We can all acknowledge that human rights are human rights, and the Palestinian human rights are no lesser than any other human being. Haifa University is built on stolen Palestinian land. It saw its population go from 61,000 to around 4,000 Palestinians, and specifically the University of Haifa has a very problematic history. Back in the beginning of the genocide in October, it suspended students for showing solidarity with Gaza. In the same way, students here at SOAS were suspended for showing solidarity in the same space that we're standing on October the 9th, for having a rally in solidarity with the Palestinian people. So for us today, the Nakba Day, and here being at this encampment where the students were suspended, where we have faced a lot of pressures and everything, it's very symbolic to us. We have 7 demands, and our demands are clear, and we will refuse to leave because stand in solidarity with the Palestinian people. We've been calling for a ceasefire. We've been marching every single week in the streets of London. We've been protesting inside our institutions, and we've been trying to hold our governments and our institutions, our academic institutions, accountable for the fact that this genocide is being enabled and people are just standing by and doing nothing. So I want to say that we will not leave until our demands are met.